All right, great. Well, appreciate you guys logging on for Fired Up Friday, as we just named this new this platform for our Friday huddle. My name is Ben Bradshaw, everyone. I'm actually logging on from a coffee shop. Coincidentally, about literally, I could probably throw a rock and hit my house, so that's super convenient. But yeah, so I'm excited to be with you guys here shortly, or here today, and introduce our speaker shortly in just a moment, who is logging on, thankfully, from Cancun in Mexico. And so definitely appreciate his time. And I mean, you guys know him obviously, but let me just literally brag on him for a little bit, really quickly, if you don't mind. You know, this guy's a Crown Royale, which obviously you guys know the money that's made at that position, but more importantly, he's a fearless leader, an amazing friend. He's literally he's one of my best friends, and just a great guy, and servant leader. I could keep bragging on and on and on, but you guys get it. So one thing I will say, if you don't have pen and paper, I definitely would obviously get that right now, because he's going to lay down some nuggets to help us on Fired Up Friday. So Jesse Mack, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you so much, Ben. Hello, everybody. So I am on my phone here, so I don't get a chance to see everybody. I love having it in gallery mode, so that way I can see everybody. So, but give me a hi. What's going on, Anne-Marie? What's going on, Valerie, Angela? So we've got Christy, we got Janice, we've got Joe, and we got a bunch of people that are hiding on their Zooms. So because you were like, I'm not makeup ready, or you know, maybe you're hiding at work, or you have your earpiece in, pretending like you're not on Zoom, planning your escape. So Randy, what's going on? Lynn and Audrey. So Suzanne, Carrie, Amanda. So I got to scroll back here to the beginning so that way I can see everybody. But am I in the right spot? Okay, there we are. So we are here. I'm actually in the process of just packing up my stuff. We're finishing our 10-year anniversary breakaway trip here in Cancun, which is a little bittersweet. It's a little bittersweet because we're just finishing our event here today. I'm actually heading down to Tulum this weekend to celebrate Father's Day with my dad. He's flying in tomorrow, which is awesome this weekend. But I just got off a call with our incredible team and our leadership body for Latin America, from Colombia, from Mexico, because this coming Saturday, June 26th, we are doing a huge kind of momentum into the Latino market, where myself, I'm actually flying to Puerto Rico, to a huge event on Saturday. So who do you know in Puerto Rico or somewhere close to the islands? And Matt Morris, Red Diamond, the unemployed millionaire, is flying to Guadalajara, Mexico. He's going to be doing an event in Mexico on the 26th. And then Mark Caseta and Mazafar are flying down to Bogota to Colombia for an event in Colombia. So if you know anybody in Latin America, this is the time to get on the phone with them. Now, some people say, well, if I'm an English speaker, how do I build into the Latino market? And it's very simple. Find people that are bilingual. Okay, it's very difficult, I promise you, to find somebody that's in a different market. And here's the reason why, just to give you an example. And you can write this in your notes. There are 600 million Latinos in the world. So there's twice as many as there are Americans. And it is an incredibly explosive culture. And in the United States of America, one of the fastest growing group ethnicities in the United States is in the Latin community. So I can tell you right now, for those of you guys, we are in a global business, building a global opportunity. And you don't want to play in the minors and never play in the majors. It's a very different pay when you're playing in those different types of games. So I would highly recommend, you know, who do you know that speaks Spanish, and get them into these markets. Now, that's not my topic for today. It was just something because I met with our leaders in Guadalajara this morning, and we just got off this call. But what I want to talk to you guys about here today is something a little bit different, as it's a little bittersweet. And part of the reason it's bittersweet is because I really wish there were more of you that were here. Now, I know that it's a strange time. Some people are able to travel, some people aren't. I know our Canadian family is just like what, I don't even know what to say. You don't even know what to say. Like, we don't even, like, it's crazy. But as the world is starting to open up right now, I don't think we could be more perfectly positioned with what's launching with our Club Secret program in the weeks to come and at boot camp for the incredible. Now, I was excited because I've been traveling more this year since the beginning of the year.
Did it freeze for you?
Hey guys, Jesse's frozen for me. Is he frozen for you guys as well?
Yeah, he's frozen.
Okay, cool. No worries. I wonder how far into his talk he's gotten. So let me go ahead and send him a message and see if we let him in. All right, give me 1 second, guys. It looks like he's joining into the group right now. When it works. All right, give it just 1 more second. There we go. Hold on, Jesse. Let me unmute you. And make you a co-host.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good to go.
All right, there we go. Sorry. So hang on. I see I'm on my phone. This is me looking at you guys on my phone, and then I froze, and I was like, "Oh no!" Good thing I was here in my room. I got my computer. So, in any event, I was saying it's a little bit of a strange time right now in the world as we're now. But I was saying I don't think we could be more perfectly positioned for where we are with this whole revenge travel. Like people right now are like, get me out of the house. And it was interesting because traveling, like it was really kind of nice not having it be packed at the airports, TSA lines being short, check-ins. And this time when I flew from Phoenix to Cancun, it was a shit show. I'm telling you, it was crazy. Like the lines, the security, all of a sudden, like everybody is like, it's like they all broke out of jail. Like simultaneously, the whole country broke out of jail, and they're leaving. Now, Canada, you're still in jail, but very soon, hopefully, you'll be able to break out. Now, as these trips are coming up here, and there's more trips coming up here, obviously we wish there were more, but we had a meeting on our first night in where we had a chance to hear from Isaac, our CEO. We had a chance to hear from Matt Morris, Jefferson Santos. We had a chance to hear from our Blue Diamonds and above. And Mazafar did an incredible training where he talked about where we're going, a little bit about the vision of where we're going with Secret. And and it was interesting because he said, this is our 10-year anniversary of Secret. And he says, and he said, you know what I'm really excited about is who's going to be here on our 20-year anniversary. And it was interesting. He said, who's going to be here at our 20-year anniversary with Secret? And of course, people were like, woo, yeah, and it's like bullshit. Like, now, how many of you are really gonna through it all, like through the ups, the downs, the ins and the outs, like who's gonna go create this and be here in 10 years from now? And it was an interesting moment for me because I was really blessed. I got a chance to speak at this event. And when I got up in front of the room, I was like, God, this is crazy. There's a 10-year anniversary from Secret. And when they introduced me, they said, Justin Call got up and he was like, ladies and gentlemen, we want to introduce you to, he said, how many Crown Royales are in the room? Please stand up. And I was the only one standing, and he was like, come to the front of the room. And it bothered me, and I was like, not that I didn't appreciate the introduction, but I was like, that doesn't make me feel good being the only Crown Royale in the room. And I know that's not going to be the case for long. In the next couple of months, there's going to be Crown Royale. I already know that. But I interesting had a moment where I was like, this is crazy. I was like, I looked around the room and I was like, how many of you were there 10 years ago with me when I started? And I looked around the room and I was like, so I'm the only one who's actually celebrating 10 years with Secret. I'm the only one that's a Crown Royale. Isn't that interesting? So, and I looked at it because I was like, there was a room like this that I was a part of. And Isaac and I were talking about it, where we did our first event in Phoenix with about 200 people. And there was about 200 people in this room. And I think all of them intended on being here 10 years from now. I just had a guy, no joke. I literally thought this was a joke. I won't share his name. So, but this is how crazy it is. I literally posted up about something, and he said, he says, this is the guy who used to be in secret 10 years ago with me. He said, I see all your pictures and I'm surprised. I didn't think secret still existed. That's what he said in the post. I literally said, is that a joke? Laugh out loud, but I wasn't laughing out loud. I was literally like, that's a joke, right? Like, that's a joke, right? So, and he said, no, not at all. I really thought that. I think I recalled someone even telling me. All right. And then so other people who had left, and he named some people who had left that we worked with, that I worked with, Ben, that you've worked with. Right. So, and then he said, so I thought it was done. And I was like, what? Right. So the reason why I'm sharing you that is this is 10 years from now is most people decide to start. Have you decided to finish? And finishing the race, what does that race look like for you? Now, I'm not saying Crown Royale needs to be the end of your race. For many of you, that's not the goal here, because you don't need to go Crown Royale to make 6 figures a year in secret. 6 figures a year in secret is Ruby-ish, right? So Ruby to Diamond. So Ruby to Diamond is 6 figures a year. If your goal is to make $3,000 a month, maybe Platinum is. And maybe that's it. Now, maybe your goals will expand or create from there. But the question is not where it is your kind of finish line is, or what it is that you came here for, that you came to get. So for me, people say, well, you did it now. What's your next goal? And I was like, well, Crown Royale was never the goal. And they're like, what do you mean? And I was like, well, I mean, it's part of the goal, but the goal for me is never ending. And the reason why the goal for me is never ending is because Secret's mission is to create a wealthy global community around the world, the wealthiest. Not a wealthy, the wealthiest global community around the world that serves people. When does that end? It doesn't. So like, why? I'm not on a goal, I'm on a mission. I'm not on a goal, I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission to help as many people as we possibly can with this community, this organization, this company. And so for me, 10 years doesn't feel like anything because there isn't an exit strategy. I'm not trying to get somewhere. I'm not trying to get to something. I'm trying to become something so that way I can serve more. And every one of you right now, it's, what is it? It's almost July 1st. The first half of 2021 is gone. I don't know if you guys know that. Like the first half. I don't know about you. I felt like New Year's was just the other day. Like buy your Halloween costume now because it's coming quick, right? So, but what I would say is this is, how far in the future can you see of where it is you're going? Now, how do we do that in the present moment? And I want to relate to what was my conversation was this, is talking about pain, okay? So, and there was Mac, and lyrics. So, okay. So when we're talking a little bit about pain, this is one of those things that I thought was really, really important that all of us, I think for the most part, are looking at what it is that we're going to go create. How many of you guys have big goals in your life? Like you want to accomplish big things? Show of hands. Give me a show of hands. Okay. So if we want to accomplish big things, we need a big reason. We need a big driver. We need a big motivator, right? How many of you guys know what you need to do in your business, but sometimes you don't do it? I won't look, but you can raise your hand. How many guys know? So for most of us, it's not knowing what to do. It's doing what we know. It's not knowing what to do. It's doing what we know. How many of you guys are like, well, what do I need to do? You guys know that what do we need to do? We need to show people secret. How many guys have figured that out? Now, whether it's people you know, people you meet, people you attract, I don't care. People say, well, what's the best strategy? Don't care. Whatever it is that gets you to show people secret, whether people you know, people you meet, people you attract. That's the only options, isn't it? People you know, people you meet, people you attract. Those are the only way that. So now people say, well, how do I meet people? Well, no, I haven't seen them recently. I mean, they're all out there. And a lot of them are online. People say, what's the best way? Is it Instagram? Can you meet people on Instagram? And the answer is what? Yes. Can you meet people through TikTok? And the answer is what? Can you meet people through Facebook? And the answer is what? Can you meet people at the gym? And the answer is what? Yes. So people say, what's the best way to do it? I don't care. Go meet them. Say hi, hi, hi. I'm Jesse. Right. So now, can you learn how to meet people? Yes. Okay. Is that a skill that you're gonna have to learn? And what we're gonna do is we're gonna show them secret. We're going to show them secret. And one of the best ways to do that and the simplest ways to do that, I believe, is with this ATM system, add tag message system, and putting them inside of this Facebook group, by the way, that's exploding. And the tools that we're going to be adding to this ATM system, I just watched a new video, a new 90-second video that Jefferson Santos put together. That's probably the greatest thing I've ever seen in my life. And so that you're going to be seeing more and more systems being added into these ATM programs. Now, why this is important is how many of you guys know that you need to show people secret every day? You know this, but how many people are doing it every single day? We know. David's like, I'm in, I'm doing it, right? So we know. So here's the biggest kicker. Your greatest pain or your greatest reward is going to be based on your consistency. How consistent are you at doing the things that are required to be successful, even if you don't feel like doing them? Good example. How many of you guys ate yesterday? You ate some food, right? Ate some food, right? Now, unless you're purposely on a fast, you probably ate yesterday. Now, notice how there wasn't like, well, I just didn't have time for that. You found a way to eat. Your body will kind of force it on you. Now, some of you guys will like, I can go a whole day without eating. Okay, how about this one? How many of you guys breathed yesterday? How many of you guys realize that's not optional? That's a must, right? It's a must happen. Now, when your business turns from shoulds to must, it's great. But what I learned to do is this, and I want to finish with this conversation, whether it's an ATM page or doing a business, pleasure, because this is the only reason human beings do everything, right? There's two reasons. We're trying to gain pleasure and avoid pain. By the way, in case you're wondering, like, why do I do that? Why do I do that? It's very simple. Gain pleasure, avoid pain. One of the two. Okay. So inside of this, for most people, pleasure is not enough. It's not. It's just not. So when we talk about our goals, if your why doesn't make you cry, it's not strong enough. And you got to have a big reason, and you got to be motivated by these big things. You know what I'm more motivated by than pleasure? Pain. That's what I am. I know it. So guess what I realized? I learned how to use pain to get me to be consistent with the things that if I knew I did them long enough would give me the pleasure I was looking for in the future. They said, Jesse, look, you have two options in life. You can play now and pay later, or you can pay now so you can play for the rest of your life. People say, you're so childish. And I was like, yeah, you know why? Because I gave up my childhood to build a business. People say, what's the biggest sacrifice you gave up? I gave up being a kid. When I was 19 years old, I wasn't going out. When I was 20 years old, my 21st birthday, you know what I was doing? Every Friday night, I was in a mastermind meeting with people twice my age that had kids where all my friends were laughing at me. I didn't go out to party. I didn't go out to drink. I didn't go out to clubs. I didn't do any of that stuff. I didn't even listen to music, and I'm a flipping dancer. I listened to personal development because they said, turn your car into drive time university. People said I was crazy. I sacrificed my childhood while my friends played. And now guess what they're doing? They're paying. They're trying to figure out how to survive. They're trying to figure out how to still pay rent. And right now, you know what I'm doing? I'm going to Tulum tomorrow to buy more property as investment properties. Cash. That's a different world, So now the reason it's crazy when I think about it, but I figured out how to use pain. So when I was choosing success, here's what happens. I had to choose pain. Oh, this is a tough one. Okay. So good example. Boot camp. Boot camp we got coming up. How many guys are coming to boot camp? If you're not coming to boot camp, I'm going to pretend like you're not here. I'm just going to pretend like you're not here, because that scares me. So, but I'm assuming you're all coming. So boot camp. If I said, hey, if you come to boot camp and you bring 10 people with you, I'll give you $10,000. How many guys agree? That's a pretty good deal, right? Right? Bring 10 people with you, $10,000, right? So, all right. How about we flip the script? Okay. If you come to boot camp and you don't have 10 people, you pay me $10,000. Ooh, some of your butts just puckered. Right? Why? Pain. Pain, man, consequences. So for most of us, what we've been going after is we've been going after goals and using pleasure as a motivator. I agree with it. But most of the time when you people see explode in this industry, when you hear them get on stage and say something like, I made a decision, that decision wasn't made out of pleasure. That decision was made out of pain. They were their back was against the wall. Something had to happen. Stuff was in crisis. And they said, F it. I am not letting small things get in the way anymore. I'm not going to be inconsistent anymore. The pain of being inconsistent is too painful for me to stay doing it this way. And one of two things either happens. They explode and become successful, or they quit and they give up. It's one of the two. So in this, right, what I used to learn pain, and I'll tell you, I did silly things. So when I learned this about myself, I was like, that's it. I'm going to use pain to make me be consistent. Here's a simple example. Every day we had to expose 2 new people to our business. That was our system. Very simple, right? 10 in play right away, 2 a day, every day. 10 in play right away, 2 a day, every day. 10 in play right away, 2. That was our mantra. And 2 a day, every day didn't mean 2 a day when I felt like it. 2 a day wasn't every day. So here's what we did was this. I started using pain. I said, if I didn't do my 2 exposures, I had to sleep on the floor. Sleeping on the floor is painful. Guess how many times I slept on the floor? Just once. Because I didn't want to do it again, right? So, but then I started using other things of pain and the small takeaways and goals. I started stripping myself of pleasure in order for me to stay consistent, in order for me to pay now so I could play forever. That's what I was looking to do. Okay. So here's the question for some of you guys is this. How can I find a way? Now, what I mean by using pain, look, I don't want you to put yourself in crisis. Don't do anything to jeopardize your health. Don't do anything to jeopardize your family. And you know, and I hope you guys understand what I'm saying, that some people are like, you know, Jesse said, don't do that. You know, don't go to your spouse and be like, honey, sleeping on the floor. Sorry. So what we are really looking to do is this, is don't do that. But where is an area that instead of using pleasure as your motivator, you can use pain? I have found in my life, pain being a much better driver to get me to be consistent. And if you think about it, in most people's in life, you know, you're not eating well, you know, you shouldn't eat well, you know, you should eat well. Then you go to the doctor says, if you don't change, you will die. That's when people change. When it becomes life or death. So for me, building this business, it wasn't the goal of being financially free. Here's what drove me as a 20-year-old kid. A 20-year-old kid, when I started this industry, here's what drove me. The pain of being shackled to a job, a career, a boss that I didn't know, didn't like, didn't respect. Bank of America making my decisions. Reading the menu from the left to the right instead of the right to the left. The pain of going to dinner with your friends and telling them you aren't hungry, you already ate when you're really hungry, but you are too embarrassed to say that you can't afford the dinner. That's what drove me. What drove me was I remember going with my girlfriend, and then the people came around and she ordered a Diet Coke, and I looked at her like, what are you doing? Because that's $4. And having a conversation with her afterwards of being like, you can't do that. Like, those were the situations I never wanted to be in. I never wanted to be in those situations ever again. Now, I don't know what it is for you. I'm not asking you to live in your pain, but I'm asking you is to use it. Frustration is an incredible tool. And I have found that usually your success is buried right underneath frustration as long as you don't quit. So now, talking a little about pain, let's talk a little bit about pleasure. So you guys get actually a chance. Just so you guys know, there's a whole tropical storm here in Cancun the whole time. Okay. And so literally you guys get to enjoy this with me. This is not a joke. The very first time the sun has came out since I've been here on Tuesday is right now. So that is literally the first sun that we've had. So, but that's okay. Look, You can't rain on my parade. You know why? Because some people, they go cry, and what did we do? We danced in the rain, and we had a foam party in the pool. So, and then what did we do? We went mudding in the Jeep tours into the cenotes. So, Ben, thank you for the introduction. Thank you for being the man that you are. Thank you for being the leader that you are. I'm grateful for your friendship more than anything, especially over these last 8 years, 9 years. So we got a lot of work to do together, bud, but we had a lot of lives to change. But today's lesson is very simple. Who's going to be here in 10 years from now? And how many of you are going to just embrace the pain and go get it? So I will see you. Some of you guys are like, I don't know if this was motivating or not. I can see it on some of your faces. So sometimes it's not motivating, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's not. It's not meant to be motivating. It's meant to be real. So there's nothing more than I want to see each and every one of you get to the places you didn't even know were possible. And for some of you guys, like, can I get there? The answer is yes. Is it going to be challenging? It's going to be one of the most challenging things you ever did, but it will be the most rewarding. And I don't care how long it takes you. I don't care how long it takes you. I don't care how long it takes you. I'm going to be here waiting for you to finish your race. And no matter, I don't care. I don't care, because Jesse Mack's going to be here. McPherson families, you're never going to quit on you. So you can quit on you, but there's zero chance we got no quit on you. So I will see you guys hopefully sooner. But if I don't see you sooner, I will see you at boot camp. But I'll see you on the Zooms throughout the week. And I can tell you that the enhancements that are going to be coming over the next few weeks, and especially at boot camp, let's just say by Christmas, I think many of you are going to have a very, very, very different holiday season this year than you did last year. So take care. God bless. We'll see you guys soon. Bye.